welcome everyone to a new live stream episode of Anabaptist World. Tonight we have a very special guest, guest Emily Hans Baker. Is that how you pronounce her name? From
Yes.
Anabaptist Disabilities Network. And Anabaptist Disabilities Network mission is to connect and support people who have disabilities, their families, and faith communities to create a culture of belonging for everybody. Their vision is that faith communities are transformed when individuals with disabilities and their God given gifts and experiences enjoy full inclusion in the body of Christ. So tonight we have Emily. She serves as communications director of Anabaptist Disabilities Network and is responsible for the newsletter, blog, and other communications and resources. With a bachelor's degree in biblical and theological studies from Bluffton University, Emily developed an enthusiasm for creating healthy communities in college, and she remains convinced that communities are healthiest when everyone is welcomed and embraced as they are. So, welcome, Emily. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing really well, Juan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you that we finally managed to make some time here on our platform to have you share and have talk about Anabaptist Disabilities Network and the work that you guys do because it's very interesting. So, yeah, go ahead, Emily. Present whenever you're ready.
All right. Wonderful. So my first slide here is on the screen. Thanks again, Juan, for that introduction. And hello, everyone. Thank you for spending your evening with me. As Juan mentioned, my name is Emily Hunsbaker, and I'm the Communications Director at Anabaptist Disabilities Network. I'm a white, femme-presenting, young-ish adult with short, curly brown hair and square rainbow-colored glasses. Before each video that I present tonight, I'll be sharing videos and photos, and before each visual, I'm going to offer a brief image description so that those of you with low vision or poor internet quality can experience this presentation as fully as possible. So let me move on to my next slide here. As Juan mentioned, at ADN, we believe that faith communities are transformed when individuals with disabilities and their God-given gifts and experiences enjoy full inclusion in the body of Christ. Now, becoming a community full of inclusion for people with disabilities comes in stages. And tonight, we have invited some disabled people to help me talk about 4 of these stages: recognizing our shared humanity, redefining social norms, accessing rituals, and sharing our gifts. So first, our first step in this journey comes in recognizing the shared humanity of people with disabilities. All too often, we are tempted to look away from people who look or behave differently than us, assuming incompetence or inability to understand. This automatically excludes people with disabilities from our communities. Anne Hamlin is a nonverbal autistic young adult who uses an iPad to communicate, as well as a talking board. Anne is a young white woman with short brown hair and brown eyes, wearing a pink fuzzy sweater in her photo. Anne has been writing songs with her music therapist and friend, Meredith Powers, for several years. Her lyrics are honest and clever, and she has invited us to listen to her 2022 song, I Am Here, tonight. Juan, please play this first video.
I see the people walk by me as my one-on-one checks on me. Most ignore me as they talk, laugh, and yell. Some ignore everyone else too. I wonder if they even know I'm here. I am here. Some of them stare at me like I'm putting on a show. I am not sure that my strange mannerisms entertain or bother them, but they do know that I am here. talks to my staff, telling her how sweet and dedicated she must be to work with me. It's me and I am here. I am here. The handsome young man comes over to flirt with my one-on-one. She enjoys this attention as she smiles and giggles, and they both seem to forget I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here, and I may not be like you, but still I'm here. I am here. You may not be aware of me, now that is okay, because eventually you will know I am here. I am here. I am here. What they don't know is that I hear and see everything. I am aware of all that goes on, and I smile to myself, and I'm happy to say I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am so happy to be here. Weird mannerisms and all, and it's a joy to be here. Even if they do or don't know, I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here, and I may not be like you, but still I'm here. I am here. Life is difficult, but I still want to be here, breathing the same air. I'm here for my friends, for my family, and even if you don't know I am here, I am still here for you. Still I'm here. Interesting what you can learn when nobody thinks you're paying attention. Hearing some of your secrets, you have a lot of opinions and thoughts. So do I, as I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here, and I may not be like you, but still I'm here. I am here. I would love to have you hear my opinions and my thoughts. Get past my weird mannerisms, we have a lot in common, as I do know you are here. You are here. My vocal sounds annoy you, I know they annoy me too. Let's get past that and we can enjoy our time together on this beautiful earth. We are here. We are here. You may not be aware of me, now that is okay, because eventually you will know I am here. I am here. I am here.
When Anne wrote, "I am here," she hoped to help people understand that she is listening and she understands what those around her say and do, even if she communicates differently. When people cannot communicate verbally, they are still intelligent. They still have gifts to share. We must recognize the humanity of those with disabilities, sitting next to them, looking directly at them, and saying directly, "I am glad that you are here." After recognizing the humanity of a person with disabilities, we must redefine our ideas of what normal really means. Our society is structured so that typical is synonymous with able bodied, and that naturally leads to the exclusion of people with disabilities. Catherine Newswinger pushes back against this idea. Why did those without disabilities have the privilege of deciding what is weird and what is atypical and what is normal and what is accepted? Catherine Kate Newswinger grew up attending Salem Mennonite Church in Kaiser, Oregon with her family. Kate has been diagnosed with autism, ADHD, generalized anxiety disorder, and dyscalculia, which means that she knows a fair bit about living life as a neurodivergent person. From an early age, writing has been a passion of Kate's. She lives in Salem, Oregon with her parents, her brother, and her cat Lola. Kate is a white, femme-presenting young adult with shoulder-length brown hair. In her photo, she's wearing a neutral-toned sweater and multiple rings on her fingers. I am thrilled to be able to read one of her poems for you tonight. How do you know that you are typical? To people like me, you're stranger than fiction. You can't get inside my head, and I don't know what's inside of yours. What if I'm the normal one? What if you're the one who is weird? Just put yourself in my shoes. You can't read between the lines. People say things you don't understand, and it's unspecific, and you panic every time something goes wrong. You do things that people don't understand. They look at you weirdly because you're different. That's me. I'm different. I'm weird. I'm not typical. But has it ever occurred to you? In my eyes, I don't know who you are. I'm the normal one. You're the outsider. I can't wrap my head around you. Fixate. I have weird behaviors that I do because they make me feel good. You do too. We're not that different. I just go further. That makes me not typical. You wouldn't even guess that I'm different from the surface. I look just like you. So when I tell you that I'm typical, you're shocked. My brain works differently than yours. So I must be the weird one. But by that same logic, to me, you're the strange one. Do you understand? Typical is relative. And to me, I'm just normal. So just let me be me. Now, if Kate were able to be here tonight and pers- perform that for you, I'm sure it would have much better intonation. I am not a poet or a performer by any means, but her words still stand true. When we start to view the humanity of those around us, we may notice that, oh, I skipped a slide. Oh no. Kate invites us to show up fully. And she invites us to, let me find my script. By inviting us into her perspective, Catherine invites us to imagine her, as well as others with ADHD, autism, and other forms of neurodivergence, as normal, and to see that maybe we aren't so different from one another. Breaking through this barrier of social norms invites everyone, disabled and abled, to show up in the community as their full selves, without fear of exclusion. Now, as I started to say, when we start to view the humanity of those around us, we may also notice that there are more than attitudinal barriers separating them from the community. In some cases, physical barriers keep people with disabilities from accessing the meaningful rituals of our faith congregations. Eleanor Habecker is an insightful and clever high school senior who thrives on conversation and storytelling. She has a visual disability called optic nerve hypoplasia, and she can see some shapes, colors, and lighting changes. Eleanor enjoys reading, hanging out with her family, and spending time with children. Eleanor is a white teenage female with light brown shoulder length hair. As we listen to the following clip of a conversation I had with Eleanor, we'll see a number of photos of Eleanor with her youth group, other teenagers of various ages, ethnicities, and genders, sitting on couches, nodding comforters, making pizzas, and overall enjoying each other's company. Juan, please play video number 2.
Sing songs during the services, but I couldn't really sing very well because I didn't know the words. Either I would just kind of hum along, or my dad would like whisper the words right before they happened, which was okay, but a little hard to do.
Right.
Well, the church types out the song in the bulletin, and she used to put them on a flash drive before I could email.
Okay.
And then the flash drive would be in the family mailbox, and then I'd pick it up before church, and then I could hold the braille note and sing.
Oh, cool.
And I just remember I was so excited because I could finally sing along with church.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really help for hymn sings because then people are just calling out songs.
Right.
But I just never go to those, so then it doesn't bother me.
So then it's fun.
I was just so excited when I was able to do that.
Thanks, Swan. So this hour-long conversation that I had with Eleanor included many stories of youth group games, rituals, and faith practices that she has engaged in over her time at Waterford Mennonite Church. In this particular clip, Eleanor's gratitude for being able to sing hymns along with the congregation is palpable. Eleanor names that when someone began typing the lyrics to songs being sung in worship, then giving them to her on Sunday mornings, she no longer had to rely on her parents to whisper the lyrics to her in the moment. Accessing the faith ritual independently helped her feel like she was part of the community and not just reliant on her parents. So our last stage in our journey to belonging is sharing our gifts. People with disabilities can sometimes be limited to being the recipients of, rather than the ministers of, gifts and Christ's love. Once we view them as fully human and allow them to access our communities, however, we learn that disabled people, too, have amazing gifts to share. Kathy Yoder has been playing piano since she was 35. She is on the autism spectrum and legally blind. Kathy is an ambulatory wheelchair user, meaning she sometimes uses a wheelchair to access the world. Kathy enjoys painting and crafting. She lives in Goshen, Indiana with her partner, Brian. In this upcoming video, Kathy sits in her wheelchair, spokes decorated in bright rainbow colors, at a baby grand piano on the church stage. A middle-aged white woman with light brown hair and dark glasses, Kathy sways with the music as she moves her hands across the keys. Juan, please play video 3 now. Kathy plays the piano by ear, having written the song that she played in this video and imbuing her own creativity and feeling into the music. To access the piano, Kathy used her wheelchair to roll up an ADA ramp and onto the stage of the church. Her excitement at playing for her friends and community members was palpable. And when that excitement blended with her passion for her music, the whole sanctuary was filled with a holy presence that blessed everybody listening. As faith communities, we can strengthen our congregations by including people with disabilities through this process of remembering our shared humanity, redefining social norms, accessing belonging, and sharing our gifts. One of ADN's board members, Emily Crable, has experienced this sense of belonging at her home congregation, Berkey Avenue Mennonite Church in Goshen, Indiana. Emily Crable has a beautiful, complex, and powerful mind. She tends to hyper-focus on what she is passionate about, whether that is pop culture, the events of the people in the world, or her friends and family. She lives with her dad and stepmom, and she misses her mom in Oregon and the siblings that have moved out of town. Emily is the host of a podcast, Expert Tips of Self-Advocates of ADEC, available wherever podcasts are listened to. When she's not working, she likes to work on her blog, Act, Sing, and Dance. Emily is a white female young adult with shoulder-length brown hair and glasses. She has visible signs of Down syndrome, and in this next video, she is wearing a bright red headband that she fiddles with as she speaks. Juan, please play our final video of the evening.
My experiences at the church, being able to experience the joys of the church, and the love that they share. They pay attention to the little things, they pay attention to me, they respect me to me. When I was in 6th grade, they gave me food. I didn't even know what that meant. And being one of the people who has a disability of the church, I feel like I'm included quite well.
So that was a slightly difficult audio clip, but Emily names that she feels like she belongs at church because people pay attention to her. They respect her. They give her accommodations in the form of gluten-free food. When people with disabilities are given the opportunity to share their stories, our entire community is strengthened. These perspectives and spiritual gifts enrich our faith communities, deepening our understanding of God and what it means to be a follower of Christ. Throughout this presentation, we have heard from 5 people with disabilities who have experienced both barriers and belonging in their congregations. ADN exists to accompany congregations as they seek to remove barriers and become places of full belonging for people with disabilities. On our website, you can read more stories from people with disabilities, their families, and faith communities on our blog, Opening Doors, and in our newsletter, Connections. We also offer other resources to people who want to become more accessible. You can audit your physical accessibility. You can apply for a small grant for an accessibility project. We give tips for removing barriers for specific disabilities. And then we also have educational resources like Bible studies, baptism curriculums, and other faith formation resources, both for people with disabilities and for congregations looking to enrich their understanding of disabilities. Please consider supporting the work of ADN with a monthly donation of $20 or more, or just a one-time donation for how great I did at this presentation. We can only provide the resources that we do through the generous support of congregations and individuals. So thank you everyone for sharing this evening with me and giving your attention to the stories and experiences of people with disabilities within our faith communities. If you have your own stories, experiences, or questions, the next couple minutes are set aside for this. You also can contact ADN at the email address on the screen, which is adn at anabaptistdisabilities.net. Again, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to share other people's voices with you tonight.
Well, thank you, Emily. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. And thanks everyone that tuned in. We have some comments from some viewers. Chelsea Ann Bailey saying hi, and also Ethan Zayer saying hi from Michigan. Emily, I had a couple of questions for you. Uh, well, tell us a little bit. How here we got another message from Charles Henry Conklin. Thank you, Emily. We appreciate the important work that you're doing. Yeah. So, Emily, what drove you to work with Anabaptist Disabilities Network?
Sure. So I, right after graduating college, I worked for a while as a summer camp counselor at Amigo Center, which is a camp in Sturgis, Michigan. And my favorite campers were always the ones that had higher support needs. I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but these campers were just so great. And so I always felt drawn to working with the campers with disabilities, with autism, or a history of trauma, and seeing the way that when their gifts were elevated for the rest of their peers to see, they found true belonging, and it also enriched the experiences of the other campers who were there. So I was looking for a job after college, and Anabaptist Disabilities Network was looking for an office administrator. I love organizing things. And so I filled in that role for quite a while. And then ADN is a organization that also models this adaptability of finding a way to utilize everybody's gifts instead of trying to fit people into the cookie cutter of a job description. We look to mold job descriptions around what people's gifts are and what the organization needs. And so I slowly morphed into doing this communications role. And it's been great to be able to connect with people, hear their stories, and find ways to elevate those voices that are often pushed to the margins in our faith communities.
Okay. And do you guys have a support from a network of other groups, or how do you deal with that?
Yeah, so we are both connected ecumenically. So there are some non-Anabaptist organizations that are doing similar work within their denominations. So we're part of this kind of support group for um, groups of Christians that are doing similar work within their denominations. But we also are fairly connected within the Anabaptist world, well, within the world of Anabaptism, doing or partnering with different Anabaptist organizations to bring webinars or other resources to different communities. We're also part of Mennonite Health Association, which is a wonderful resource for healthcare, and they have a special section of organizations that provide resources to people with disabilities within the Mennonite realm. And so we have our own network, but then we create a network of congregations who are doing the work at the ground level within their own church communities as well.
And do you guys have, as Anabaptist Disabilities Network, do you guys have any projects coming up this year, or something down the road that you guys are planning? Or
Yeah, so we actually have a full summer of programs and conferences and things that we are gearing up for. So with this year is a year of conferences. The Church of the Brethren annual conference is being held the weekend or the week before the 4th of July. And then the following week, Mennonite Church USA's conference is being held So that's the week after the 4th of July. And then the following week, the Conservative Brethren Conference is also holding their annual conference in the US. And ADN is providing accessibility services for all three of those conferences. So if anybody is at any of these annual conference for COB, MenoCon, or the Conservative Brethren Conference in Greensboro, all three of them are in North Carolina, feel free to come say hi. We will be there, and we will be providing mobility scooters and supports for people with visual disabilities, hearing disabilities, all sorts of things like that. Additionally, this summer, Amigo Center and Anabaptist Disabilities Network are partnering to bring a family camp for children with disabilities to the Indiana, Michigan, Ohio tri-state area. And that's called Camp Kind. We're really excited to be partnering with Amigo on this. We will be, it'll be a shortened week of both activities for families together and also separate programming where caregivers get some respite time, some time to connect with each other while their kids are integrated into Amigo's traditional day camp program and have like a one-on-one support staff that is helping them do that. So we have big programs coming up this year. Yes, we are.
Well, here we have a question from Charles Conklin. Does ADN connect with or have plans, openness to connecting with the Global Mennonite Church around promoting belonging? For example, is there a license or procedure that national Mennonite churches could access to translate or contextualize ADN resources?
It is a great question. We have been actually just this year, our executive director, Jean Davies, hosted a Zoom call between 4 organizations in Africa who all across the continent have been doing disability related work. And somehow Jean got connected to all of them in her wonderful way that she does and connected them to each other. And so that's one thing that we have done that's kind of expanded from just our mainly US focused area. The unfortunate reality is our organization is 3 part-time employees, and we are run entirely on donations from individuals and congregations. And so we don't have the capacity to meet all of the needs that are out there. It is in our vision that we can provide this support to everyone. And it's also in our vision to do what we do very well. And so we're constantly trying to strike that balance between providing resources that are really deep, theologically sound resources, while also meeting the needs of people within a global context. One step that we have been taking is we are slowly translating all of our resources that we do have published into Spanish so that it's not just the English population that can use our ideas and use our resources.
Okay. Well, thank you, Emily. I think we're about to wrap up. Once again, thank you so much. If people wanna find more about Anabaptist Disabilities Network, here's the link below where you can donate. Also, if you feel, and yeah, Emily, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As I mentioned earlier, it was kind of it was we had a long conversation into when this could happen, and I'm glad we finally had the time to make it happen. So yeah, thank you so much. Any final words you have for the audience?
Thanks everyone for coming, and it was a pleasure to be spending my evening with you all tonight.
Thank you, Emily. Hope you have a great night, and thank you, everyone. Bye bye.